Hi and welcome back to the Freese Watches channel. I want to thank everyone for watching last week's video on the Sleater movement. It was really interesting to make that video and to explain some of the things that some of the reasons why we like that movement. So it was really good to do that. So thanks again for having a look and so on. Do appreciate it. This week I'm really excited to announce that it's the end of the month. We've been making watches all month and we've got a set of watches for you. So today's video is really just to show you the watches, to show you what we've made and to explain some of the decisions that and why we've made them. The idea is, as you know, that all the watches are unique. We want to try and make watches as unique as possible. So we've really tried to stretch that idea this month with what we've made. So hopefully this new set of watches are going to be of interest to you. What I'm going to do, we're going to go to the bench in a second, then we'll go through all the watches individually, show you what we've done. Please feel free to leave any comments down below, anything you want to ask about them. You're also welcome to contact me any way you like, and obviously we're quite keen to sort of share these watches and get them out into the world, so just feel free to get in touch. Right, so we'll head over to the bench now and we'll take a look and show you what we've done this month. Here's our first watch. So this is a blue dial 101. The dial is printed in a navy blue. It's also got a sparkle finish on top of the blue and an aged yellow lume. We've got an aged blue bezel as well. Really pleased the way this has come out. We've made quite a few blue watches this month because our theme this month is colourful watches, and we felt that the blue watches we've made have always been successful in the past, so let's make some more. So that's our first watch. Second watch is a first for us. It's a green bezel. So the green bezel has been quite successful for Rolex over the years, and they've certainly made some very attractive watches. So we were hoping that we could do something similar, just to really make part of our colourful watch collection this month in green. We've made a sort of creamy colour lume mixture onto the matte 369 dial, just to match in with the bezel, and we think it's made a very attractive watch, and we've also been able to source a very kind of olive green strap as well, which really complements the watch nicely. Right, so our blue watch is getting a bit brighter. This watch here has got quite a lot more blue in it than the last one I showed you. It's quite a bright blue. As I say, we're looking at trying to make colourful watches, and this one certainly stands out a little bit more in its presence. The blue is bright. We haven't used an aged or sparkled finish on the dial here because we felt it did detract from the fact that we're trying to really make a colourful watch with this one. So we've got the aged lume as usual, but it certainly is a nice bright watch, really stands out, and we're sort of very happy with the way this one's come out. This next watch is probably the one that is the most sort of far out in terms of colour. What we wanted to do, we wanted to make some really bright colours, but we also wanted to have that sort of aged look that we try and put on all of our watches. So this is an aged red dial and bezel. You'll see the red is sort of, it looks like it's been in the sun for 30 years. We've tried to match the colour of the dial with the bezel to provide something that has, it's got that character of age, but at the same time has got some brightness and colour to it. So yeah, once again, really pleased the way this came out, and it's really nice to add these sort of slightly more unusual coloured watches, slightly more unique watches into our collection. You'll note the strap is a kind of deep red colour, which once again obviously is complementing the dial and the bezel as well. So this next watch was something of an experiment for us. What we wanted to do is to make an aged black dial. So the dial wasn't entirely black, but it had a kind of hint of grey to it, as if it sort of faded away, a bit like the bezel on this watch. And we're really happy with what happened because the finish is kind of grey-black. It's got lots of little flecks of white in it, and it matches nicely to the sort of grey-blue bezel that we fitted as well. So this watch really has got a lot of character. It's certainly unique. I'm not sure if we're going to ever be able to make it again because it was certainly an experimental dial. But we're really pleased to be able to add this to the collection, and we've fitted a kind of dark brown, almost black strap on there just to complement the watch. Just to balance things out, this is just a fairly standard black dial. We've got a bit of brown in the bezel, which you'll see there in the light. But what I wanted to do was, just to maybe put a watch into the set this month that was fairly standard in appearance, because obviously this will appeal to some people more than the coloured watches. So just a hint of brown on the bezel, but overall a sort of classic 101 look really, with the black dial and the aged lume. And here we have a real green dial. We've used the same sort of green bezel that we used on the watch I showed you a moment ago. but this one has got a very bright green dial, which is a really kind of, it's, you know, a very kind of colourful, vibrant watch, and obviously the limb colour complements nicely as well. So yeah, another departure for us to make something this colourful. Normally we sort of stick to the traditional blacks and browns and things, but this is, you know, one of the brighter watches we've made so far, and yeah, it's been really great to make some different watches which just add to the variety of what we've produced so far. This is a Mark II 53. This is a watch that we haven't really done much with since we made it. We've been concentrating on the divers watches, but we have got a set of these available. Now the interesting thing with this watch for us is that each dial is individually printed. So the number that you see on the dial, this one is 53-2 021, the number is unique to the watch. So rather than putting a unique serial number on the back, we've put a unique number on the dial. This means that we have to make a plate for the pad print on each individual watch, making them particularly unique, and we like the idea of doing this. It's quite labour intensive, but it's certainly you know, it comes into our theme of making individual watches. You'll see that on this watch we've got these hands that we've used for the Mark II that are different to the Mark I dagger hands. We feel that they're certainly more in keeping with the field watch theme, and really pleased with the overall appearance of this watch. Finally, this is our first tropical dial. We've been trying to make a tropical dial watch for a long time. The idea is, for those of you who are not familiar with the term tropical watch, it's a watch that has been, you know, worn in the tropics, and where the colour has really effectively been sort of drained out of the watch by exposure to the sun. This is something that I've seen a lot in the Omega Flightmaster watches that I've repaired over the years. What you'll find on those with the Mark I Flightmaster, the subdials go this really kind of light brown colour. So it's taken a lot of experimentation to try and get that colour, but we feel we've achieved it with this watch. And the bezel certainly reflects the idea, because the bezel is quite aged. Because if you imagine a watch that spent sort of 20 or 30 years on the wrist of an international pilot, the bezel is likely to have faded at the same time. So we're just trying to make something that looks quite balanced, which we feel this does. So we're really pleased to be able to offer a tropical dial, and we'll be making more of these in the future. One thing to mention about the process we use for the tropical dial, it is very variable, because what it relies on is a base colour, followed by a colour fitted on top of that, and it is the addition of the colour on top that creates the tropical appearance, because the paint that we put on top doesn't always stick in the way that paint normally does, and it will give a quite a nice finish to the dial. But there will be a lot of variety in these. But we're making some more tropical dial watches for next month. It's something that we're really pleased with. It really fits in with what we're trying to do. Thanks everyone for sticking with us during the video. So the watches are going to be dropped onto the website on the 1st of June, that's on Tuesday. So what will happen is the watches will go on there, and you'll be able to purchase them directly from the website. So if there's a model that you're interested in, please feel free to get on there as early as you can and make that purchase. If the watch is sold out and you're still interested, just let us know, because there could be a chance we'll be able to make one for next month's batch. I've really enjoyed showing the watches today, so please don't forget to like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications, because we really want to take as many people as we can with us on this journey as we continue to make watches in the UK. We really enjoy it, and we hope that you've enjoyed the video. So thanks a lot, bye for now.